Hello everyone, I am Mr. Low. Today, I want to share with you the function of AutoCount User Defined Field. What is AutoCount User Defined Field? It means that if you want to add more columns or spaces to fill in AutoCount, you can add them yourself. You don't need the programmer's permission. As long as you have this User Defined Field module, you can add them yourself. This User Defined Field is available in editions above the Basic Edition. It is not available in Account Plus and Express Plus editions. How do you add it? Actually, it's very simple, but you must log into AutoCount's Management Studio. Management Studio is generally handled by our program dealers or your IT department. So the Management Studio is a backend used for some settings. You log in, enter the password into your Management Studio. After Management Studio, here choose User Defined Field, you will see this function. This User Defined Field, see where you want to add it. If you want to add it to debtor, let's say debtors here, you just look for debtors. If you want to add it to sales invoice, then you look for this sales invoice. Sales invoice is divided into master and detail, which I will explain later. I'll first go to this debtor. For debtors, let's say you want to add one.
Bank account. Here you just type bank account.
Bank account. So you just need to enter the short form, and then for the bank account, how many lines of text you want. There's a size here. If you want 50 texts, here you see text, there's decimal. Decimal means numbers with 2 decimals. 3 decimals, you can set 2 or 3 decimals. We first select this text. So when this text appears, what should the description show? It's called caption. Let's say you put the database name here as bank account, and the name that appears we want to call bank account. So you need to save it. This thing is added here in the debtor, directly added here in the debtor. If you want to put it in the invoice, you can just copy it. You don't need to type it again, just copy it directly. Once it copies everything completely. If you have 3 or 4 items here, it copies them all at once and then saves them. It will help you copy it, and you can put it into sales invoice. As I mentioned earlier, in the invoice, we have master and detail. Detail is where you enter items. The things we enter are called detail. Invoice, this is the master. Master generally includes our debtor address, debtor name, phone number, and so on. That is called master. Generally, we will put this in the master place. The bank account is added to the invoice and debtor. You see it is blue, The invoice and debtor here are blue. After adding, remember to log out of your system. Your system here currently has nothing. When there is something, it will automatically add it, but I still suggest you log out of the system and log in again. Well, that's my suggestion. Here in the bank account section, you can put the customer's bank account. You see, originally it's not there, right? Originally it's not there. You see billing address and so on. None of it is there. After adding, it will have an additional type called User Defined Field. In Debtor User Defined Field, there is something called bank account, and later you can put an NBB of its bank account number. You just fill it in here and then save it.
Usually we use this UDF module together with the formula module. Why is that?
You see, now I want to transfer this invoice. The invoice also has a bank account, but it cannot be directly transferred. You have to write a simple formula so it can be transferred. If you're interested, you can refer to our video on the formula module. If the delivery order has a bank account, it can be transferred directly to the invoice. But if it's the debtor's bank account, it's more difficult to transfer because it's not the same series of documents. In the same series of documents, it's one of the types of sales documents. It can be copied over. Let's do a demonstration. The same sample, if I put it in the delivery order here, I also put that bank account in here. Did the caption change? Just now I didn't change it, didn't fill it in properly. If filled in, direct type should be, it is like show. Then the invoice here, if my caption here is filled in, direct type should be, it is like this. The database cannot, we put the database very short, and then we make the caption a bit longer, more detailed. I'll go back into the system, close that invoice, and re-enter the invoice. Start with do there. There is also this bank account column that has appeared in DO. Do you see it? The listing here will also appear, and inside it there will be a UDF called the bank account, which you can pull out. You can customize the layout directly. Right click on the empty space to customize the layout, and you can directly pull out the bank account to a place that's easier to see. If you want, just drag it out, and if you don't want this user defined field type, just close it, customize, then right click to hide this item. Hiding this item is just one line, so the bank account will always be displayed here. This is the bank account for the delivery order. Let's say we fill in one, it's the same MBB as mentioned earlier, MBB 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, then save it. When we right click to the invoice, you see it brings over this bank account, but it doesn't bring it over to the debtor side. That needs a web page to be written. If it's from DO to invoice, it can be directly transferred. That's not a problem. It's not just adding text, You see, looking back at what we had inside, its details, it can add many things. It can add text, it can add numbers, it can add some dates, add some goals, add some emission links, and so on. All of these can be added. Next, I want to show a sample data to everyone. This is another sample I did before. This is a developer's sample. You see what UDF we can do for him. Here is also a debtor, the same debtor, you see, because this is a developer. When he sells houses, he needs a lot of information. He needs a whole bunch of different information. There's a reference number, or you see he wants to add some remarks, write some words. Who is the purchaser? Who is the borrower? Maybe he has a private loan or a bank loan. Who is the purchaser? He needs some more detailed information. Who is the lawyer? Who is the lawyer? All these projects, any project can be added. All right, so maybe we focus on the lawyer here or the bank, loan and facility. Just take any example to talk about. How can we select this information in our list? Select this information. These are all UDFs. You see, these are all UDFs. Now, let's go into our previous data. I'll repeat my question. For example, this due and invoice have a lorry number. How can we select it from the list without typing the lorry number each time? The bank account can't be done, as the bank account might be the customer's bank account.
So each client has their own bank account and there's no way around that.
This way, we add a lorry number attached. This lorry number is what I want to follow up with to show everyone. This is a list. You can add a list. This is a list of lorry numbers. A list of lorry numbers. And then in this list of lorry numbers, you can enter those license plate numbers. Enter those license plate numbers. After entering, the list name cannot have spaces. The list name cannot have spaces. So after entering, then you just save it. Select this, select it under this list, choose it under this list. Similarly, you can also copy from DO to invoice, directly paste. This way it will be on the invoice, but if it copies twice, you can remove one. If you don't want it, then test it again. Testing actually on the invoice, testing this thing. The sales delivery order here also has this UDF. It comes out. Here you can choose which lorry number it is under. If you still want, as I mentioned earlier, you can right click to customize and move these fields. So if you remember, you can DIY the entire interface you want. Here you can choose the lorry number. Then if there are new lorry numbers in the future, do you need to go back to the management studio? That was what I mentioned earlier. It's used by the IT department, right? They set it up for the account colleagues or the colleagues from Kaida to operate this function, adding some columns for the sales department. And the sales department is just responsible for using it in the future. If the account sales department has new lorry numbers, IT can't be called every time to add them. In this situation, there is actually a function in the general maintenance section. It has this user-defined field list, and you can directly edit here and continue adding like this. Continue adding like this. You can add all the numbers you want. You can add all the numbers yourself. After adding it, you go back to that place from before, and you will see it has already been added. It's that simple. These two are more general, some general functions, other user-defined fields, and then the more general one is this. You see here there is something called memo and rich text. Memo and rich text are for writing something in, but memo can only type. It can't change font type, font size, color, and so on. However, rich text can, yes, rich text can. I'll make a sample. At that time, I added this in the data section. You can type a lot, unlike text, which can only have a maximum of a few words. If you want to put 50 words or 100 words, that's called text. If it's memo and rich text, you can type more things. Yes, more things. Oh, this is usually what we call a node. Rich text is our node. Then we save it. And when we go back in, we can see there's memo and node. Memo can only type, only type, only type. Then it is not possible to set the size. If it's about size, it must be rich text. And in rich text, you can use different colors. Of course, actually, if you use AutoCount with this rich text and memo, it can actually be used with Excel. Or you can operate it Excel. You can copy from Excel, copy it in. For example, if you want to press start to this Excel, you can copy and then put it into the system or put it into the system. This is the rich text of AutoCount. It can do this. You can put in Excel or photos. You can even load photos in here, but it will consume a lot of the database. Oh, these are some small features of AutoCount. Finally, let me explain two more UDFs and the last two UDF. I'll take the invoice to explain. Talking about some invoices, you need to check them. We have something called bullet. Bullet means checked or unchecked. That's called bullet. So if you want to check each invoice, you need to check. Once the price is still the same, you need to manually check. Then we'll make a check mark for you. You check it yourself. Then there's also the decimal mentioned earlier, which is also quite commonly used. This decimal is probably, but generally we use decimal more in videos. Maybe I'll explain this decimal in the formula video. Today we talked about this bullet. The last UDF I want to explain is bullet. You see this invoice, there will be an additional check here, and check is a tick. Then the lorry number is selectable, and the pan and the count number are text. You have to enter them yourself. The last one is checked. Whether you tick it or not, it's just that simple. This is the last UDF. If you check it when you're outside, you will see it has a check mark. The purpose of this bullet is like this. The UDF video, I think we will finish here. Alright, so for the UDF functions, I will explain these commonly used UDFs for now. You can test the other UDF functions yourself. The next video will talk about formulas and how to use them with UDFs. You can refer to that. Okay, thank you everyone.